Hey everyone, this is Hope once again from Pros Before Bros, coming in from Cincinnati to talk to you a little bit about a book review that I actually was supposed to be putting out there last Saturday, possibly, maybe. And of course, you know, time, energy, everything. It just went out the window. I never got a chance to actually put that vlog out there to do a book review. And I actually thought today would be perfect because in conjunction to the book that I'm about to review, I had a really cool experience. And I thought I would go ahead and just fill you all in on it. So, the book that I'm going to be discussing today is going to be The Museum of Heartbreak by Meg Letter. Excuse me. So this is the cover. It's so pretty. It's one of my favorite covers. And it's a YA contemporary novel, I believe. But I heard about this book on one of the booktubes. I believe it was Pages and Pens. I say their name quite a bit. I'm a huge fan of Julie and Pages and Pens. A lot of times when she's recommending a book, I usually pick it up pretty quick because she has basically it seems like the same interests as I do. So I connect with her quite a bit with her books that she recommends. And this one, I believe she gave 5 stars. It was either 4 or 5 stars. It was really high up there. And she strongly recommended it. I remember her putting so much emphasis in saying, hey, check this book out. So I was happy about that. I thought, oh, this sounds really good. Ran out to the bookstore, picked it up, read it within 24 hours. It was that freaking good, my friends. I definitely gave it 5 stars. And I will say this, I'm not a person that gives 5 stars. I'm always one of those people that try not to give 5 stars because I feel like there's always room for improvement. It's always just been my nature to feel that way. This is a rarity. There's only a few books, like a handful of books, that I could probably say 5 stars, hands down. This is a great book. You have to read it. This one is definitely a 5-star reader. So just going to jump right into give you the background of the book, not give you any spoilers of the book, and then just tell you why I loved it. So I'm going to read the back. And it says, welcome to the Museum of Heartbreak. Well, actually, to Penelope Marx's personal museum. The one she creates after coming face to face with the devastating, lonely-making, butt-kicking phenomenon known as heartbreak. Heartbreak comes in all forms. There's Keats, the charmingly handsome new guy who couldn't be more perfect for her. There's possibly the worst person in the world, Charisse, whose mission in life is to make Penelope miserable. We always have one of those, don't we? There's Penelope's increasingly distant best friend, Audrey. And then there's Penelope's other best friend, the equal parts infuriating and yet somehow amazing F, who has, I hope I said his name right, who has been all kinds of confusing lately. I believe his full name is Ephraim, if I remember correctly. But sometimes the biggest heartbreak of all is learning to let go of that wondrous time before you ever knew things could be broken. And this is a book that was published by Simon and Schuster. And like I said, it was written by a lovely lady by the name of Meg Letter. So one thing that I really want to focus on is just, I took out I had tabs all the way down here, tabs of things that I absolutely adored. And it was finally getting tab crazy, so I had to clean it up after I read the book. But one thing that I absolutely love about this book is I feel like because Penelope, the main character, I would say she's about 17, 18 years old. She's getting close to that stage where she's graduating in high school. And she is so easy to relate to. One thing that I absolutely loved is just how real this book was. For me personally, I was in the same situation as Penelope. I can remember being in high school and just worrying about not only what the future holds, but also just the simple fact that relationships change. Get into this stage where you grow closer to other people, whilst people that you were with or have become friends with, since elementary school, you drew apart. Um, you really become an individual in that particular period in your life. And Meg just hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, I was reading it and I could just remember certain things that happened that kind of tied in from my personal life into Penelope's personal life. And I just felt like that was such a good, relatable book. If I could hand this out to every teenager and have them read, or even just a person my age and have them read it and experience it, I think it touches so many different lives with so many people. But anyhow, I'm not going to give any spoilers except for that. One other spoiler I'm going to give is, honestly, the title says it all, the Museum of Heartbreak. What does a museum have? They usually have artifacts, correct? Well, the way that this museum is set up is basically the most insignificant little thing that has some sort of meaning is inside Penelope's museum. And this one actually made me chuckle because it reminded me of one of my friends who had just introduced this to me. And I can't believe I missed it. And hopefully I could get a good... Oh, come on, camera. You're almost there. Oh... I don't know if you guys could see it. I apologize. My camera's shit right now. But one of the artifacts that she has inside her museum is a dark chocolate Kit Kat bar wrapper. And I didn't know that they made these. And my friend was talking about on Facebook, funny, the same time that I was reading this book. And she's like, yeah, they're real. And I was like, I've never seen that before. So... yeah, so I got introduced to Kit Kat Dark. I got hiccups. Kit Kat Dark really quickly. Not only because of my friend, but because of this book. But yeah, this book is amazing. And I believe they just recently put it out on paperback. But they do have the hard copy, obviously. And let me see when... it looks like the actual paperback edition was released just last year in June, and the book itself was written back in 2016. So, I mean, it's a couple years old, but I still think it's such a wonderful book. And the reason why I really wanted to talk to you guys tonight, obviously, is because I was so excited when I found this out. So I'm bragging about this book on Facebook, and I'm sure I'm annoying the hell out of all of the people that are on my friends list on Facebook. And it turns out that my sister-in-law actually went to school with Meg, the author. And I was like, I posted about the book, I posted a picture of the book, and she's like, oh yeah, I went to school with Meg. And I'm like, are you sure it was that Meg? It could have been somebody else. She's like, no, I went to school with Meg. I remember her. Well, it turns out my sister-in-law's best friend remembered her too. And she's like, she's super sweet, just the nicest person you would ever meet. And she was so talented. So I was stoked. I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of cool that she has roots here in Cincinnati. Evidently, she grew up around here. And just by chance, I think it was the same week that this conversation happened, I saw that our local bookseller, Joseph Beth, was hosting an event for her. She was going to be coming to Cincinnati to sign books and just meet her fan base here in Cincinnati. So I was stoked about it. I told my husband, we have to go. I don't care how tired I am when I get home from work. I need to meet her. She's amazing. And she recently, as of today, I believe today was the drop date, her book came out, her new book that came out. And let me go ahead and pull it out here. It's called Letting Go of Gravity, and it's such a pretty cover. And of course, my camera is going to be a jerk face and not show you that beautiful cover. Um, but yeah, we'll just ignore the technical difficulties there. But anyhow, I was so excited, and I was like, we have to go. There's no way around it. And of course, my poor husband John, he's used to me dragging him to the bookstore. It's become a thing. He always reminds me of having Amazon. That's great, but I just wanted the experience. So we went, and she has a huge fan base here in Cincinnati. Obviously, from being from Cincinnati, that plays a huge role in it. So we went, she read a part from the book, and she talked about her previous book about writing and such, and she opened the panel up for questions. And one side note that I have to mention, which is super freaking cool, apparently she worked part-time at Joseph Beth Booksellers. So she worked there for a period of time. I believe it was between school. So Joseph Best mentioned in the book places in Cincinnati, and Covington, Kentucky is mentioned in the book. That's the setting of the book. Just a little side piece. So she opened the panel up, and of course I asked a question about writing with anxiety and depression, because she did make a comment that one of the characters, the main character in Letting Go of Gravity, her new book, has anxiety, and she also mentioned that she suffers from anxiety. So it was awesome. I asked her what her take was on writing, and she gave me so much good feedback. Feedback that, as a writer and as a reader, I appreciate. And she was just, guys, she was so down to earth. I just absolutely adored her presence. Her character's just awesome. But anyhow, so afterwards she started signing books for everybody. I got in line with my book, and I was just thinking she was going to sign it, with her name, and she was just not going to personalize her or anything like that. And I didn't think she was going to remember me from the crowd. So I get up there, and she's like, I really love the fact that you brought that up. That was such a good question. And she starts signing, and she's like, best of luck to you. Just hang in there. And I wasn't paying any attention to the signing, really, because I was just so excited about being there and just, listening to her talk about her books and such. And as I got out to the car, I opened the book, and she actually put in, and of course, stupid camera's probably not gonna get that, but she put in a personal message saying best of luck with your writing. And I was floored. Apparently my husband, he's like, I didn't really see her write that much in anybody else's book. So I was just flabbergasted. She's just an amazing person. She's definitely become one of my favorite authors to follow. And she's also an editor at Penguin, I believe she said. So she just had so much good perception about the writing community. It had so much amazing feedback. And of course, the excerpt that she read from this book is it's just amazing. So I cannot wait to read this book. I feel kind of bad because I want to stop reading the current book that I'm in the middle of, or just put a pause on it so I could start this one, because it's just, yeah, I'm so excited about this book. So anyhow, that was why I wanted to do the rundown with you guys tonight. In addition, you can't go into a bookstore and just simply buy one book. At least in my experience, I have to go in there and at least walk out with two. And that's strolling, because every book's amazing, in my opinion. but I was able to pick up a copy of My Plain Jane. And this is by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. They're the same authors of My Fair Lady. My Lady Jane. This is a retelling of Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is one of my favorite books. I remember that was like one of the first books my mom pushed in my hands when I was at a good reading age. It was like, here, just read this. I have to, bless my mom for giving me that period of time where she'll just push books in my way and just make me read. Probably just to keep me out of her hair. But anyhow, I'm excited about reading this. I've heard, I want to say mixed reviews about it, but I really want to give it a shot because again, it's a retelling of one of my favorite books. So, I did pick that up, and right now I am currently reading. Sorry, I got all these books right now. I'm currently reading Rainbow Rowell Attachments. And I love it so far. I mean, I like it, and I also like that writer. I just haven't dived in depth with it. I really wish I am doing that. I started this book on, I think it was Sunday night. Yeah, it was Sunday night, and I haven't gone too far into it. I'm on page 27, which usually I blow through these books pretty quickly. And honestly, it's not the book's fault. The book is really good. It's keeping my attention. It's simply the fact that I started a new job and I'm reading a lot of manuals at the new job. So I don't really get that time to read this book. And by the time I get home, I'm exhausted. So yeah, and that's kind of why I'm rubbing my eyes right now, because I'm just dead tired. But anyhow, I'm going to try to read it and fight temptation, because I really want to read the new book. Again, Letting Go of Gravity. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to fight it off and try to finish this book first. And honorable mention here real quick. If you guys are looking for book sleeves, I got my first beautiful book sleeve here, and it is by Black Cat Bookshop Company. They have an Etsy shop, and it's got my favorite little dinosaurs on it. And that also fits so well with the theme of the Museum of Heartbreak. So you guys have to read it. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but definitely read it, and then you'll understand the meaning behind this book sleeve and why I love it. Final things here. Obviously, today's July 31st. I finished 7 books, and I'm almost done with the 8th book. The 8th book is an audio book. Oh God, I want to yawn so badly, and I don't want to do that on camera. Sorry, guys. But I'm hoping to wrap those up, and hopefully, my goal is to put a review out for like the assortment books I did read. I usually try to just do one book at a time with the reviews, but I think I might just do a mass review video of all those books. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to try, again, underlining, bold, italic, whatever you want to do. I'm going to try to have those reviews out probably this weekend. So we'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It really depends on what my schedule is, because it's been crazy lately. But anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely check into Meg Letter's books. She's amazing as a person and as an author. So definitely check those out. She's really good. Other than that, if you liked this video, please go ahead and click the like button below. Subscribe if you wish. Comments, inquiries, suggestions, anything that you guys want to put out there, go ahead and put it down inside the comment section below. But otherwise, again, this is Hope from Pros Before Bros. It was great talking to you again tonight, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon. Bye.